Right. Right, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part of the back garden. And well, first of all, apologies for any background noise. Obviously I'm in the garden, so like lawnmowers, phones ringing, people calling, blah blah blah. But yeah, what I thought I'd do is just a quick overview of the kit I took on the South Downs Way. And yeah, so grab yourself a cup of coffee and we'll go through it. Now, what I want to do first of all, if it's alright with everybody, and if it's not, then go and make your cup of tea. But I want to do a couple of shout outs to some people that I met and I want to thank. Now, to start off with, big thank you to my daughter and son-in-law to giving me a lift to the start line and picking me up and getting me back home. Cheers guys, thanks for that. I want to say hello to Carlos, who I met at Meon Springs, who was doing one hell of a solo walk across England. So, mate, hope you've done well. Now then, Julia, Tom and Lindsay was a family I met that you'll see on the video. So hi guys, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Big shout out to Peter and Lynn. These are the owners of Foxley Barn in Amberley. Absolutely superb facility, guys. Get yourself booked in there and you've got everything you need there. It's a lovely, lovely place. Very, very helpful. You'll see in the video that they done me a big favour when I turned up. A little bit worse for wear for an injury I had, but yeah. And on that note, I'd like to say hello to my new recruited nurses, Amelia and Charlotte. You all right, ladies? Now, Amelia and Charlotte, we were kind of like leapfrogging one another all the way through the South Downs Way, and they helped me out big time at Foxley Barn, sorting out an injury that I'd acquired. So, hi to them. And then lastly was the South Downs Youth Hostel Association team, particularly the manageress and the cook, Lynn, I think her name was. That's an absolutely superb facility, guys, absolutely superb. So thanks for allowing me that little time there to do my shout out. It was a lovely walk. It is tough, be warned. So we'll start off with this little bit of stuff I got on the table. Now this was this was one of my cameras. Now this is a Sony HDR CX450. Was broken. You'll see on the film why. This was one of the lightweight hiking t-shirts that I took, and absolutely superb. This was a Berg House. Now get yourself proper hiking shirts and stuff, because it wicks away the sweat and keeps you at like a relatively normal temperature. Very good, very good. I took my cap. Like, I always wear a cap because I'm bald, like my head burns, so I took my cap. It was very, very, very sunny for the first few days. Bridgedale Socks. I took 2 pairs of Bridgedale Socks. Yeah, these are good socks for hiking. I had these Lone Peak 4 trail runners. Excellent, absolutely excellent they are. And on top were these tiny little gaiters that I got off of Amazon. You can get other makes. They just go on top and they keep all the stones and sticks out from going down the side there. Excellent, excellent. Now these got wet, and it was weird because you could actually see the water being pumped out as you walked along, and basically kept your feet fairly dry. It's really bizarre, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant they are, absolutely brilliant. Now my underwear, not particularly want to know, but my underwear was merino wool. Now I like this because it cuts down on chafing. I did get a little bit of chafing, but anyway, it cuts down on chafing, it wicks away sweat, they're easy to wash and dry out. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant they are. And what's left of my hiking trousers. Now these are very lightweight. I got them off of Amazon. Who are they made by? I don't even know who they're made by, but very, very cheap they were. And dried very, very quickly. Like when I did get wet, or when I washed them, they dried out very, very quickly. Very, very light. And they're stretchy. Yeah? So that was the trousers that I wore. What else was there? So shoes, socks, pants, trousers, t-shirt, and the rest is in the bag. Let's crack on. We'll just work out, I'll empty the bag and then we'll go over the bag. How's that? Now, it was very, very, very sunny. I took an umbrella with me. Now, this is good in the rain obviously, but it's brilliant in the shade. Absolutely brilliant to make your own shade. Canterbury Ring to the hostel that I was making my way to was 8 miles in the open. Oh, it was so hot. No shade. Yeah, so you're exposed to the sun. This was absolutely brilliant. So I took that. What else have we got? Now, in the front pocket, my wee pot. These are absolutely brilliant. Saves you getting out to 10 at night. Throw that down in. I did have a little garden trowel for, you know, me necessities. Thankfully I never had to use it, but that was in there. On the last day I got rid of a fair amount of equipment to try and lighten the load because of the gout and all the other bits and pieces that were happening. I had a spare torch, just a little £1.50 torch from a filling station, petrol station. What have we got this? A must-have, alcohol gel, not only to keep your hands clean, but any wounds and that you might come obtain. All right, so some of that. I had my Lec carbon walking poles. I really don't know how people walk without poles. Maybe, oh, there you are. But these are absolutely brilliant, and of course they make up part of my sleep system because my tent, which we'll see in a minute, these hold up the tent. So my Lec walking poles, absolutely fantastic. Shoved down the bag is one of these cheap old foam, is it like egg crate style, is it, or whatever they call it, mats. Now, I've cut these down slightly so that when I fold it in half like this, 2 of them fit in my tent perfectly. Okay, really, 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 really good. And I'm not sure if it's still in there, but what I put underneath this when it's inside the tent, so you've got the tent floor, I then put one of those aluminium survival sheets, the really tough ones, which you can get off of Amazon. One side's like silver reflective and the other side's like orange. They're only cheap, but brilliant, brilliant insulator. So there's 2 of these. You'll see the other one in a minute. Now, whilst we're on the outside of the bag, here's a tip for you. I did have the capacity to carry, if I needed, 4.5 litres of water. Now, I had, these are 750ml bottles, and they're connected to the shoulder straps. I had 2 500ml bottles connected to the rear of the bag, and inside, as you'll see in a minute, my filtration system can also carry 1 litre, and the bag which I carry my electrics in is waterproof, and that will also carry 1 litre. So the only problem there was finding the water to actually put in these devices. But this is something I want to show you. Look, can you see that? These are brilliant, off of Amazon. I think they're a couple of £1 or something, but it's like a molly webbing, so that forms a loop, which is Velcro, you can fix that anywhere, onto your belt, onto your bag, anywhere. And then it's got a little snap thing here that snaps off, yeah. And this goes around the neck of your water bottle, any water bottle. So if you bought yourself a bottle of pop, drunk the pop, you can put water in it, put this around the neck of it, and it will click, and you've got a device for securing and holding your water bottles. It's better than it all flapping about everywhere, you know what I mean? They're brilliant, brilliant, off of Amazon. All right, and I've got 6 of those, placed around the bag. So that's them done. So you can see how they work, look. So when you're going along, just unclip it, have a drink, clip it back on. I put some shock cord to hold them in place with a couple of little stoppers. Simple, but very effective, very effective. What else is on the outside? Right. Okay, a dry bag always comes in handy, obviously. I used this as my map for the South Down Ways. The South Down Way is really, really well signposted, However, if you want to come off track, you're going to need a map of some description. There are water points along the way. Unfortunately, some of them are broken. You can go on the South Downs Way Trust website. It gives you a list of where all the water points are, and of course you can watch other people's YouTube channels, and that'll give you information as well. So what I don't know if you can see that, I'm going backwards and forwards here, but is I marked, see the blue things? The blue represents water points and the little love arts where I might be able to camp, because I was trying to wild camp as much as I could. So that was the map, very good, and of course a compass. Not absolutely necessary for the South Downs Way, but I like it as a security thing, really. I like to know where I'm going. There we are, shove that in there. What else we got? I'll take these bowls off. So they just snap off so easy. It's okay. Right. What else we got in here? A little tripod, a little flexi tripod. I didn't actually use it. I did have another one which I gave away. That's that. The little cradle for my phone. Now this, can you see that? This here is a little waterproof pouch that I got off of Z-Pack. It was very expensive for what it is, but that was to put my phone in and the camera that broke. Great. But yeah, that's just like a little waterproof pouch. I don't think there's anything else in there. No, it's just like a little bag, so I can collect my rubbish, you know. So that's that. We've done that. We've done this. We've done that. Bit gimmicky, but there's a tiny little button compass. That's just always on there. There's a bit of old rubbish that I picked up along the way. I'll get rid of that now. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Right, so the bag itself is the Osprey Exos 58. Okay, absolutely brilliant bag. Yeah, Exos Osprey, or Osprey Exos 58. Brilliant bag. In fact, it was too big for what I was carrying. My base weight, obviously no water, no food, it came in at 9 kilograms. So, you know, they're not bad at all. Carrying 3 litres of water on top of that. But the bag took the weight no problem whatsoever. It's a lovely bag, got nice air vent through the back here, which I've seen people put their map books in, like their little maps, they just slot them in there because it can't fall out the bottom, but kind of defeats the object of having an airflow, but hey, oh, each to their own. Right, so there's the bag. You've got the stretchy front pocket. Now this is the new type of Exo 58. The old one, this pouch was much bigger. The old one had tiny little pouches on the sides, and it had a tiny little pouch up the top. The new one doesn't have any of that. obviously to cut back on weight, I would assume. So there we are. Very sturdy, very comfortable, very comfortable. And you've got all the normal gadgets like load shifters. You've got a carry handle. You can, if you want, put a water bladder inside. I don't use water bladders because I've burst a few. Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good. Right, let's open her up then. You've got all these cinch down holds on the side, and you've got them on the bottom as well. Initially, I had one of those mats on the bottom. Right, let's not waffle too much. Let's open her up. I've taken the brain off, you know, the top cover. You get one of those, the top pouch. I don't use them, so that's taken off. And first things out, this is my Rab waterproof jacket. I've given up wearing waterproof trousers. I don't use leggings. I don't use a poncho. I just get wet because I tend to either get wet through sweating or I get wet because it's raining. So I don't bother anymore. I just wear this to keep the wind off and my legs get cold. But it's a good jacket. It is a good jacket. Could do with some more pockets, but can't have everything in it. Right, let's give it that. That goes down there. Inside this tiny little pouch, this is my Pack Duplex 10. Mwah, love it. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. With the pegs, I think it comes in at £1.25, I think. Very strong, very wind resistant. I did get some condensation in there, but not a lot. Absolutely brilliant. And I only took 8 of the lightweight pegs. Obviously I went to cut down on weight. So that's the Pack Duplex. It's expensive and import tax is horrendous. There are other options if you shop around, okay? But that was a good, brilliant tent. Now this here, this is my filtration system. Water on the South Downs Way is a challenge to say the least, and quite a few of the taps are broken. You're going to be sourcing your water from cow troughs and puddles and things like that. This is the Katadyn B3 water filter. It takes out all of your giardia and all that nasty stuff, but it doesn't do chemicals, you know, like agricultural chemicals. Brilliant gadget. You never want to touch the filter. It will hold a litre of water, so it's an extra carrying device should you need it, which I did. So I had all my water bottles filled up and I had this filled up as well. Extra capacity to carry. Okay, leave your options open, guys. And that was just wrapped up in a little pouch, stuffed inside so I didn't lose it. You don't want to lose your filter. I then had my head torch, which is hooked in to the top of my bag, just in case I was out in the middle of nowhere and it got dark. I always take the battery out, can you see that? And that's in its own little individual pouch. Then all I have to do is put it together. It's got red light and 3 beams and an SOS, so just a cheapy little light. Okay. Right, inside I've got a military Bergen Dry Bag, okay? So anything that's likely to get wet or need protected will be protected. Right, first thing out, this isn't the towel that I took, but it's very similar to the towel that I took so that I could mop myself down, do the inside of the tent, etc. Yeah, so towel. Now, first aid kit. This is not what I took, this is what I ended up with. You'll need to see the video. Bear in mind, first aid is first aid, yeah? It's not major trauma, it's not trying to sort everything out all at once. It's getting yourself temporarily fixed so you can get somewhere, get help, and get yourself fixed up proper. Does that make sense? So my first aid kit was basically a couple of dressings. Now dressings are sterile and they go against the wound. Yeah. Bandages are not sterile and they hold a dressing in place. So anything can be used as a bandage. A sweaty old vest can be used as a bandage. Okay. So I've got a couple of dressings. I had a load of plasters. I have antiseptic cream, and I've also got my hand wash, etc, etc, etc. I had loads of tablets and things like for pain and whatnot. But this is what I ended up with. So let's go through it. Now then, Hyperfix. This is brilliant, shall we, not surgical, but medical tape. You can make steri strips out of them, you know, make-believe stitches you can make out of that. It's stretchy, it's very water resistant, and then once you've put some gauze with it, you've got any size plaster you want. Ooh, bumblebee. You can also use it for holding your trousers back together once you've put an hole in them. If you so desire. Right, anyway, that's that. These are commercial steri strips. Okay, I bought these during the event. In here is a tiny little camper Victorinox or Swiss Army knife multi-tool. It's got scissors on it, blades, etc. Comes in very, very handy. There's also a ferrocene rod, which is like for a fire starter, just in case my lighter broke down or whatever. It's all held within a little pouch that I made that goes in there. Bog roll, toilet paper, yeah. Germaline or any other sort of antiseptic cream. Pseudo cream, very useful for them little sore places you get. A couple of surgical masks, given what's going on. In here, there are Band-Aid, plasters as we know them in England. Yes, a Band-Aid. There are gauze dressings. What else have I got in there? There's some lignocaine. Yeah, basically it's like a pain easing gel, all right, and some hydrocortisone, and there was other stuff in there as well, which I've since used. So that's that. Some more linen, like to put over holes. Field dressings. Dressings are sterile, bandages are not. Second lot of Germaline. I've got some Twick teasers. Twick, not Twick, what are they called? Tick. I've got some tick tweezers. Twick teasers. Some band to wrap things around. And I had paracetamol, ibuprofen, I had tablets for my blood pressure and for my gout and for various other things that nature's decided to give to me as a present. Why not? Cheers, Dave. Right, anyway, this bit, this is my mess tin, or mess tins, my little part of my cook set. Now I had one of the big, or biggish cylinders of gas because I was out camping all the time. I only used half of it, but to lighten the load on the last day, I gave that away. But these mess tins are fantastic. Blacks do them, the outdoors people, but I got these off of Amazon. They're only cheap, but they're very, very good. And of course, they're half the weight of your other mess tins. There's a little pocket rocket stove burner thing there, and I only take a spoon because I've got my penknife that I can use for knife if need be. So a little titanium spoon. Fold that back in. What else have we got? My mug for my hot chocolate and my tea. If you're filming on YouTube, then you've got all sorts of electronics, and so normally you wouldn't take this sort of stuff. But I have a power bank in there, I have a 3-pin plug, couple of cables, spare batteries for that thing that don't work anymore, the camera, there's the memory cards, all the sorts of gadgets that you might need to charge up your phone, etc. Yeah, that's the electricals. Okay, dry bag. Lots of this stuff is individually wrapped, because if a dry bag splits, everything gets wet that's in it. So if you've got several dry bags, then you're edging your bets and keeping your options open. But in here, this is like a hoodie type thing, type of affair. I'll tell you what, I'll show you, shall I? You'll like this. You can actually use them on motorbikes. So it's a balaclava where this comes down. So if I lose my masks and I need a mask to go in, so I've got a mask. Okay, I've also got something to keep my head warm should it get really, really cold in my tent. That's what that's all about. You can take that off and just have it as a mask, or if you want, as a little buff around your neck. So quite good. I've got that off of Amazon. I've got two of them, one for the motorbike and one for me camping. There's a tiny little puffy jacket, sleeveless jacket, chest warmer I think we used to call them. Put that back on. What else we got? Right, now this, I believe, is my sleeping bag. And this sleeping bag is, oh no, it's not my sleeping bag. This is a full hooded down Northridge puffy jacket. I think I wore it once. I used absolutely everything that was in my kit. I got this from Decathlon and it was really cheap. I think it was about 20 quid. But very, very good. Very, very good. I've got it in the south. So that's that. It's inside a 2 litre water bag, keep it dry. Inside a dry bag to definitely keep it dry. Okay. This must be my sleeping kit then. Lovely day today. Oh, now, a couple of big elastic bands, all right? And my pillow. Now, this is the Trekology, or whatever it is, pillow. This thing's brilliant. It is brilliant. But me, because my shoulders are so big, I need something extra. So what I was doing was I was getting my first aid kit which was all full up. Obviously, we just emptied it. And then I was putting that on there and putting a little elasticy thing around it, and it made the pillow twice as high. Brilliant. Lovely, lovely and comfy. So, Trekology pillow, very good, with my little elasticy bands. And my sleeping bag. Now, this is the Aegis Max, is it? Aegis Max 800. Now, that, believe it or not, is a down-filled bag. It's not well, they say it's a mummy bag, but it's more of, what do they call it? Rectangular. There is so much room in it, it's unreal. It weighs under a pound, you know, and it's what they call responsibly sourced down. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't buy it any other way. But that's the Aegis Mix. I'll tell you what. It's that, and it's the 800. I got that off of Amazon as well. Now, I bought that last year, cost me 75 quid. They're £100 now. They obviously become very popular. See? Lovely bag. And there is my military Bergen waterproof baggy thing. This was my other sleep mat, and what I do is open it and I shove it down inside the bag. In the little pouch here, this is all my odds and bits. So there's like a spare lighter, there's some earplugs, there's some extra string, there's a sewing kit, purification tablets for water, spare pair of spectacles, all the odds and bits and pieces that you may need when you go along. And I think that, yep, that's it, guys. That's it. So, well, let's have a slurp of me coffee. If you've got any questions, put them down in the comments, and I will get back to you. And thanks ever so much for tuning into the channel and supporting it. Thanks to all those people I mentioned earlier. As a shout out, love to have met you all. It's a lovely walk. Do be prepared if the sun's out. You need to take on a lot of water and rehydrate yourself and stuff. It can be quite challenging. But yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely walk. And well, I'll put this out now, and I'll prep the video. Hopefully you'll log into that and you'll enjoy it. And yeah, you be good, guys. You be safe, and you keep smiling. Thanks ever so much for supporting the channel again. If you like what you see, please do subscribe. Do press the little bell. Lovely. Nice to have met you all. that's the way to end it. So I'm now going to sort out the rest of me gear. You be good. You be safe. You keep smiling. Catch you later, guys. All the best. Bye. 1, 2, 3. Dink.